Yo, what's going on, everyone? So Delicious is back. Or is he? Today's video is a bit of a sticky one still. Look, I've been going through my own life experiences, and there's a lot of stuff that I learned pretty late that some people unfortunately had the pleasure of learning quite early on. But today's video is about people pleasing, putting people before yourself, conflict avoidance, which in reality is just people pleasing. You know what I mean? It's not really avoiding conflict. It's really just a lack of self-respect in a way. Okay. I find that in life, if you're anything like me, if you're like super duper duper like extra ecstatically empathetic, there's a lot of times where you're gonna feel bad for people. But you gotta understand, my belief is that people are innately pretty bad. And if you're empathetic and you're always looking at stuff from an empathetic lens and you feel bad, granted, you're gonna feel like other people think the same way, but they don't. Paching, you know what I mean? That's a bit of a nugget of wisdom for you. Because reality is, if you're a liar, you're gonna think everyone's lying to you. If you're a thief, you're always gonna be checking your pockets because you think everyone's a thief just like yourself. And similarly, if you're very empathetic and you're very nice and you look at people through a very peaceful lens, you're going to think everyone's a pacifist and wants your best interest, but they really don't. And what happens is you get put in a position where, let's say you're going to the shops, yeah, and you get disrespected by the cashier. Don't worry about it, she's having a bad day. You walk outside, someone disrespects you about your parking spot. Don't worry about it, I don't want to get into a tussle. But then it translates and it escalates into you getting disrespected by friends or family and not setting boundaries, okay? Or not putting yourself first, or like trying to put others' needs before your own. And it gets to a point where you would just like, you sugar crash, big sugar crash. Eventually, it could be a relationship, it could be a friendship, but you get to a point where you realize the lack of boundaries that you've set and you've built something toxic, and then you end up hurting yourself and you hurt someone else. So what I'm trying to get at is put yourself first. If you're in a situation or a dynamic, if you're a giver and you're dealing with a very heavy taker, or if you're someone that's like in a relationship that you're struggling to end because you feel bad for the other person, or if you're in a friendship that where your friend is always asking you for favors and asking you for money, but every time you ask for a favor you're left with silence, or you're met with silence and crickets, it's time for you to reevaluate how you approach the social dynamics that you interact with. And I think it starts with a bit of self-reflection, because what happens is people pleasing starts off as extreme empathy, starts off as you putting others before you in a sense that they don't deserve, because they're not your family, they're not your kids, and then it becomes toxic because you start treating people as needy, and in reality you've projected that onto them. Does that make sense? So like when you're a giver, and people start taking, you can't really blame them for getting used to taking stuff from you, because you normalize that behavior. Same with a friend. If you're always doing them favors and not setting boundaries, you can't really blame them, because they're going to see you as a yes man. And the worst thing you can be is a yes man. So a bit of an introductory one. I'm going to start doing like book reviews and stuff. I'm not sure if I can grab them. I can probably grab them. Self-help has been really changing my life. The train rides to work, now that I've got a new job, that's a video for another time. Self-help is a big thing. My nose is running, man. The hell? I just wiped my nose with a sock. Yeah, man. I think self-help and self-reflection is important. If you feel like you're a people pleaser, it's time to stop. And if you feel like you're in a situation that doesn't serve you, don't feel bad to go the other way. Because sometimes holding on, thinking you're doing someone a favor, is so much more toxic than letting go. And that applies to work, that applies to relationships, that applies to friendships, and that even applies to family. You need to set boundaries with family as well. And that's a really difficult one, because sometimes when you're raised in a very like normal home, you might find that it's very difficult sometimes to say no. But you have to set boundaries, because it's you at the end of the day. This is your life, this is your game. All right, anyway, bit of an introductory one, boys, ladies and gents, my dudes, my guys, my Soapalicious Chronicles. We are going to read a lot more than what I have read already, you know, and I'll do some reviews on what I have read. And we'll do some little videos like this. I don't care where they go, to be honest. I'm very creative and I need a creative outlet, and the camera has been always my friend in this dark, gloomy world. So yeah, I'll see you on the other side. So P signing out. This time I'll be back.